It started with a cough, then a scream. Gatewood Penitentiary, home to the worst of the worst, became a breeding ground for something far worse than its inmates. The virus spread like wildfire through the cramped cells and corridors. Guards, once symbols of order, were the first to fall. Their screams echoed through the cold steel halls, a terrifying prelude to the carnage that followed. The infected weren't mindless, at least not at first. They were calculating, cunning. Their eyes burned with a chilling intelligence, a terrifying awareness of their actions. They used the prison's own security systems against us, trapping us, hunting us. The metal bars that once held them became cages for the uninfected. The prison, designed to contain evil, became a sanctuary for it. The city beyond the prison walls didn't stand a chance. It happened so fast. One day life was normal, the next sirens wailed endlessly, a chilling symphony of impending doom. The infected, pouring out of Gatewood, swept through the city streets like a plague unleashed. They moved with terrifying speed and purpose. No longer were they simply infected humans, they were something else, something monstrous. The news reports became increasingly frantic, then eerily silent. Communication lines went dead, the outside world went dark, and still the infected multiplied, their numbers swelling, consuming everything in their path. The silence was the worst part. Gone was the comforting hum of city life, replaced by an unsettling quiet, broken only by the distant screams of the infected. Each day the survivors dwindled. Hope, once a beacon, flickered precariously in the darkness. We huddled in the shadows, the remnants of a city that once bustled with life. We were 112 souls, scattered and desperate, clinging to life in a city that had become a graveyard. 32,000. That was the city's population once. Now it served as a grim reminder of our losses. The infected owned the streets, their numbers growing with each passing hour. We were trapped, living on borrowed time, praying for a miracle that seemed less likely with each passing day. We found refuge in an abandoned subway station, its depths offering a temporary sanctuary from the horrors above. The air was thick with the smell of stale sweat and fear, but at least it was air-free from the stench of infection. Down here, in the bowels of the city, we clung to the remnants of our humanity. There was Sarah, a doctor, her medical expertise, our only lifeline in this sea of despair. David, a former soldier, his combat skills keeping us alive. And young Emily, her innocence, a stark contrast to the horrors we faced. We were a motley crew, united by fear and a desperate will to survive. We were the lucky ones, or perhaps the unlucky ones, fated to witness the city's descent into madness. We weren't alone down here. Whispers traveled through the tunnels, whispers of the infected evolving. They were no longer mindless beasts driven by hunger. They were organized, strategic. Their tactics, chilling in their precision, spoke of a terrifying intelligence. They were learning, adapting, they were hunting us. Our haven, once a symbol of hope, began to feel like a tomb, the walls closing in, suffocating us with our fear. We needed a plan, an escape, but where could we go? Our supplies were dwindling, food, water, medicine, all vanishing with each passing day. The weight of our situation pressed down on us, heavy and suffocating. Hope, once a flickering flame, threatened to be extinguished entirely. Despair, like a creeping shadow, threatened to consume us. We were living on borrowed time, each tick of the clock bringing us closer to the inevitable. The question wasn't if we would run out of supplies, but when. And when that happened, we would be forced to make a choice: stay and starve, or risk facing the horrors that awaited us above. There was a rumor, a whisper in the darkness, a file. A file labeled 112 over 32,000. It was buried deep within the bowels of Gatewood Penitentiary, in the heart of the Beast Cell Block 13. It held the answer, the truth behind the outbreak. A truth we had to uncover, even if it cost us our lives. It was a suicide mission, a one-way ticket to hell. But it was our only chance. We were going back to where it all began, back to the belly of the beast. Cell Block 13 reeked of death and decay. The air was thick with the stench of rot and the lingering presence of evil. The silence was deafening, broken only by the echo of our own footsteps. We found it in the warden's office, untouched amidst the chaos. The file, 112 over 32,000. Our fingers trembled as we opened it, our hearts pounding in our chests. The truth lay within these pages, a truth too horrible to comprehend. The file detailed a government experiment, a project designed to weaponize a rare virus. 112 test subjects, 32,000 infected within a month. It was a success. A horrifying, resounding success. They created this, they unleashed this upon the world, and we were the result, the unintended consequence, left to rot in the ruins of their creation. The virus wasn't a random act of nature, it was a weapon, and we were its test subjects.